rolling hills, the pathways, the scents and colors. Fantastic.
So much food, so much wine, fabulous views.
The company was terrific. Leadership goes without saying.
It was great to meet such a nice group of people from all over the world, so we enjoyed it very much.
The highlight of my week was probably having lunch with Katerina and her father because of their hospitality, their generosity, their warmth. I loved it.
What's in there, Ollie?
Vodka, mostly.
I was amazed by how good all the food and wine was. I wasn't quite expecting it to be quite so upmarket as it was, and all the better for that. Lovely.
A fantastic experience.
I just loved the countryside, just loved, everything about it. Just being here in Italy, never been here before, so fantastic.
Cool. Chris, anything to add to that?
Well, the accommodation's been great too. It's top class. We've done bike rides all around the world, and this is the best.
Really high standard accommodation.
It's great.
I'm the youngest in the group. I just about managed it.
I think mentally you certainly
I am
are.
in awe of all these guys because I really was able to keep up with them, which was great. I was very worried first when I came. I really was. I couldn't get off the bike, I couldn't get on the bike, but I managed it and it was wonderful. And I think all the accommodation was first class. The guidance was fabulous because he even arranged the weather. So it was beautiful. Really, I couldn't add anything that would make this tour better than we have had.
I think I'm going to cry.
Again. It's been great. Probably my highlight has been the diversity of each day. It seemed that from village to village, leg to leg, each day was different.
What? I've got no side to finish there.
How was your week, Jamie?
Really good. Highlight of the week for me was probably the food in Italy.
Highlight of the week? Remembering I can
arriving at the finishing point. But the scenery was absolutely amazing. That was definitely one of the highlights for me.
Highlights, I would say just stunning views. You need to sweat a little bit to really earn it, have this sensation of I earned that. But no, definitely highlights would be amazing village, amazing sceneries.
The scenery was unbelievable. It was good to see it, something which you can't take with your phones, you can't see it with a photo, you have to see it with your own eyes.
I think the long downhill, that was wonderful. It's 12 kilometers downhill, just going straight fast.
Just before Assisi.
Yeah, love that.
Great stuff.
Highlight as well for me was scenery, excellent scenery, and and a great place. And this happens to be our favourite hotel that we stayed at as well, that we're back at. So home away from home.
Every day was a highlight, and that's genuine. Every day just seemed to get better across the 6 days.
It's been great fun, hasn't it?
Yeah, they're brilliant. I'd recommend it to anyone.
Yeah.
And,
well led as well.
Well led. The rolling hills of Tuscany was stunning. You've got the wheat, you've got the vines, you've got the trees in the forest, you've got the lovely breeze, and stopping on top of these hills and being the only ones there with just the sound of the breeze on the wheat and the barley. And
I had a lot of reservations. Our good friends Rick and Linda had proposed this trip probably a good year ago, and the whole concept of e-bike was totally against me. I wanted the human power, no additional help. Well, having done 7 days up and down in Umbria, I got every bit of workout I could ever ask for, and the e-bike was just wonderful. It was fantastic.
I managed to cope with it far better than I thought I could because the bikes were incredibly efficient going up hills and things, and I feel remarkably fine. It's just great.
Fantastic. And Philly?
I've absolutely loved the whole week, and I really didn't want it to end.
E-bikes, how do they go? What do you reckon to e-bikes?
It's the only way up.
Only way. Superb on turbo.
Couldn't do it without the turbo.
So how have you found the e-bikes?
Great.
Fantastic. Yeah, first time for me ever riding one. Made a massive difference to a regular bike. Just really held on the hills and really good.
Any
Great experience.
But I'm new to e-biking. I tell you, my old bike is going on eBay as soon as I get home, and I shall be investing in one of Tim's fabulous bikes.
Siobhan, how do you like your e-bike?
I love my e-bike. Absolutely love it.
You can push yourself until you feel like chilling, and then the bike does it for you.
Turbo is your favourite button?
Yeah, definitely. You need this button to clap the hill. Like, in my opinion, I'm not a really sporty girl, but with an e-bike, it makes it enjoyable completely, and yeah, definitely worth it. Like, look at this.
And thank goodness for the turbo button.
A great surprise to me how easy it was to use and the assist it gives you.
I was on turbo all week. No reason to go down, and we just biked like crazy. And
the e-bike was really important for me to allow me to enjoy it, because I think it would be too tough for me personally on a road bike.
The bike was great. They're very reliable. I love that computer. It tells you your speed and the distance you've traveled.
No, I thought it was wonderful. I was completely open to the idea. It was fun. It was easy to use. I loved it on the hills. I could enjoy more of the scenery because I didn't have to work so hard to ride the bike.
I think I'm right in saying it's your first time cycling in Italy?
Yes, it is, yes.
And how did that work out for you?
Extremely well. The bikes gave us the support when we needed it. If you wanted to test yourself, switch them off. So you had the best of both worlds, and they were powerful enough for the steepest of hills.
And I think I'm right in saying that you're quite a cycling enthusiast as well, so...
Yes, indeed I am. I've done some 500k trips in Cambodia, Cuba, Rajasthan, Northern India and Vietnam. And this was clearly very different, but a great experience.
I'm going to miss my bike.
Yeah. I think we are going to be shopping for e-bikes.
Great stuff.
You can make whatever you want of it. You know, when I first started out, I wanted to be a bull and do whatever I could. You can get as much of a workout in how to use the e-power, but you find there's just so many hills. It's a great assistance up here, and it was just great.
Great stuff, Mike. Well, it's been great cycling with you. Nice to see you on my tail most of the time. First time, I think, here.
First time in Italy. Beautiful. Every vista, every turn, postcard picture of wonderful green valleys.
First time on an e-bike holiday, guys, I think.
Magnificent,
absolutely. First time.
A great time, had by all, one and all. Probably given you a bit too much grief, Tim, I'd say, but it's been a pleasure. Great food, great wine, great company.
Absolutely.
Huge
great
many
crack.
hours in the saddle, no crack. It was all around a great experience.
Come around a corner, there was another castle, another view that was gorgeous, but you could use your energy to enjoy the sights rather than huffing and puffing up the hill. So that was really good for me.
I think I'm right in saying that it's your first time on a bike tour for a holiday, is that right?
That is correct, yes.
And so tell me, how did that match against expectation?
Well, as I think I said at the outset, I was rather surprised I ever said yes, because it's not something that I thought I would take to at all, but it's way above expectations. Not only able to cope with it and going up the hills and so on, but it's just great fun, and you see far more, of course, on a bike than you do if you're wandering around in a car or a bus.
I've got to say that the scenery was just incredible. The food was absolutely fantastic. I've never eaten so much at a meal in my life, and day after day after day I ate and ate and ate and ate. But you know, because of all the effort, I don't think I gained too much weight.
First time cycling in Italy, I think, is that right?
Absolutely.
And what about family bike holidays? Have you done family bike holidays before?
No.
First one.
And it exceeded all expectations as far as I was concerned. I absolutely loved stopping and looking at all the wildflowers and the countryside. The lunches were to die for, and particularly necessary halfway through the day, and it just meant one had the extra energy to go downhill all the way back to one's lovely hotel.
I probably would have gone for the self-guided, but in retrospect, I don't think we would have seen the sights that we saw without having a guide, frankly, and we probably wouldn't have stayed at those nice hotels, and we certainly would not have gone to that restaurant, the farm restaurant. What was that?
Yeah.
Il Focino.
Yeah.
Or the
Very
castle,
authentic Umbrian food. That was just absolutely wonderful.
Maybe my biggest highlight was experiencing the e-bike through a cold driving rain. It was exhilarating.
That's one word for it. Bloody freezing, I thought. But anyway.
Yeah. You know, for those that aren't so interested in testing themselves, the e-bike made it easy. It negotiated all the hills, and it was just a perfect week.
Well, thank you very much indeed for saying so, and you've been great fun to cycle with. Anybody out there sort of watching this thinking about coming on an e-bike tour of Tuscany, any advice for them, Siobhan?
Yes, definitely. Go spinning before you come on tour.
Even with an e-bike?
Even with an e-bike on this particular tour, 2 to 3 times a week, spin. Do your spin classes.
I totally agree. Absolutely right. Anything to add to that?
Don't try and be a hero like our dad. Take an e-bike. It's a lot more fun and it's a lot more chill.
Why do you say that? That's really interesting. Because you said that without any prompting from me.
Because watching the way that he sweated going up those hills, I thought he was about to have a heart attack.
I think we get a reaction from over there. Well, that's great, and I think that's very brave of you to say so as well. Anything to add, guys?
Yeah, I think for me, sort of a cycling holiday is one of, certainly as a family, the best holiday, or one of the best holidays that we've had. Just because it gives you stuff to do every day. You're out, you're active. Whereas if you're at the beach, well, it's just the beach. Whereas if you're cycling around, you got the scenery. You go to villages every day. You do something new, which was just, for us, it was just exciting and fun. And you're out there, you're doing it, and you actually firsthand sort of get to see it. That was for me. That was the sort of, that was it. As you're doing stuff, you're active. So a cycling trip for me was personally a favourite.
And so anybody out there watching this who might be considering doing an e-bike safari, what would you say to them?
Well, I would thoroughly recommend it. You know, I arrived as a bit of a skeptic, I must confess, totally taken by it. So go for it.
Excellent.
I would say exactly that. Go for it. Get out of your comfort zone and have a go. It's absolutely fabulous.
Or anything like that?
Thanks, Tim. Thank you.
You're very welcome. It's been great. Yes, and Brian. So, thanks, guys. Ciao. Ciao. Thanks
Thank you
again.
very much, Tim.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao. Heading home.
It's been an entertaining week, to say the very least. Thank you very much indeed. You've been very generous, and I've had a fun week too. So,
Tim, you've been a
thanks
gent. Thank
you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Bye.
We loved it. We loved it. Yeah.
Have a good trip home.
Thank you very much.
Ciao. It's been great cycling with you all week. Thank you very much. It's been great fun.
Well, we've loved it.
Great. Have
Thank
a good
you
trip
very
home.
much, Tim.
Okay. Ciao. Ciao.
Thank you.
We would certainly do it again. It was tremendous.
Stan, thank you very much indeed. It's been a great week. Love cycling with you. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
Ciao.